Hey there, Valentin. So let's have a go. My first point with this essay is that the question was about whether the modern education system neglects children's innate talents. The fact that it's boring and stifles creativity is the negative side. So while this question does ask, it's a two-part question. Are there any alternatives? Is the current education system doing more harm than good? So not necessarily just that it's ineffective, but is it actually harming children's opportunities? So we have a lot to include, really. But here, this is too general a statement. It doesn't address the specific terms in the question. So we could say tendency to neglect children's innate talents in favor of a standardized curriculum, a new approach to teaching people, is often called for. So now we've incorporated everything except for the fact that it's boring. On a more engaging method. There we go. Now this tells us that if the new method is more engaging, then the old method may be boring. So now we have everything in the introduction. I don't think this is a good expansion of this point. They are good, but I don't think they're really strictly necessary. Because remember, this is about suggesting an alternative. And also, people will understand these terms. This also is not a clear example. I take it you mean you're just trying to refer to the fact that people are different. And so we could say something like, Einstein famously said that a fish judged by its ability to climb a tree would spend its life believing itself to be stupid. So we're saying that everyone's different, And if you judge one person by the standards of another, they may spend their life believing themselves to be inadequate, when actually they just had a different natural talent. Let's... Okay, wait, let me try to decipher this. Okay, it is widely known that most children have potentially large capacities for innovation. Actually, let's say have a potentially large capacity for innovation that is ignored by the emphasis placed on conforming to the formal requirements of the educational process in schools. Okay, that's better. As a result, many school children within the current education system have their talents squandered by the time they enter adulthood. Or, to be even better, as a result, many school children within the current education system have had their talents squandered by the time they enter adulthood, or even reach adulthood. Cool. So we do have a well-rounded response, but there was quite a lot of editing necessary there. So I think what would benefit you is if I send you another set of essays to do for free, just to make sure you get enough practice in before the exam. Your responses are good. You do know what you're talking about, but we need to make sure that the language we use is appropriate enough that the reader, the examiner, can see that you are correct. But let's have a look at your task 1 and see what's going on there. So, the pie chart compares 6 categories of local council spending in 3 UK areas, Yorkshire, Derbyshire and Lancashire, in the year 2014. Fine. It is noticeable that the share of expenditures on leisure and education comprise more than half of all expenses among those which were made in each region. That would be fine. Okay, that's also good. If we're struggling for synonyms for spent on, we could say that it was allocated to. Oh, you already used allocated. We allocate things to other things. For can be used, but it's more natural to say allocate to. So actually, yeah, your task 1s are actually much clearer than your task 2s. I think it's because the objective description of data doesn't require quite so much construction. There are many fewer possible sentences to use in task 1s, and so you've got this pretty much down now. But I will send you the next 2 essays anyway, just to make sure that we get it right before the exam. So have a great day, Valentin. I'll speak to you again soon.